Today on Two Decent Blocks.
NFL is modern day slavery.
Oh God.
And he paid me millions.
And slaves got paid too.
Really? That's how is
Slaves got
that?
paid
What did he
too.
pay with?
With housing.
Ass
With
weapons
housing.
and a
With
shack?
housing.
Now you see,
Oh my goodness me.
she
Okay.
has engaged him now. She has his attention because he was kind of laughing things off, and she figured he didn't really care much about what she was saying.
You didn't own your
Yep.
career.
Look at him; he's just
My
cracking
any
up.
football player does.
Oh.
You work at Walgreens, you can post whatever you want, you can say whatever you want. That's different. You didn't have that right.
Every professional athlete anywhere in the world has those restrictions.
Yeah.
So are you trying to tell me that every athlete is a slave?
To be in the store.
There's-
NFL teams, you have a salary.
There's
to
much
play
more
football.
regulations on an NFL player than it is on someone
And
that works
I
at a
know that
restaurant.
you keep changing the topic. Every time you get a check from somebody as a superior, you're owned by them.
Your
That's
check,
what you're
your
saying.
check comes with a lot more limitations. I used to do the contracts. I
Okay,
know.
is that what you're saying?
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Two Decent Blocks. Today, we are going to be reviewing and reacting to this video on a YouTube channel called I Am Athlete, where three former football players, Brendan Marshall, Chad Johnson, and Channing Crowder, are going to have a discussion between themselves with Ese Igedosa, who is a lawyer. Obviously, she works in legal and business affairs for the NFL.
All right, let's get into it.
NFL is modern day slavery.
Oh God.
And he paid me millions.
And slaves got paid too.
Really? That's how is
Slaves
that?
got paid
What did he
too.
pay with?
With housing.
Ass
With
weapons
housing.
and a
With
shack?
housing.
SA, what are you talking about?
didn't
We're 2
own a
minutes
career.
in.
We had to fight to get it made.
Oh
this is
my
an
God.
info.
Yo,
Okay, we are in for a treat.
While we right to get a deal.
Yeah, we are, we are.
You gotta eat, you know, despite the skills. Fat
Oh, so
riding for the
SA
fam, you gotta
also,
like the
okay.
Yeah.
fucking wheels straight up. But in the past bad, work up in the trash bag. I'll pass a lot to take the test before I pass class. Yeah, and my family needed bread. I had to come correct. That's
Oh, they
why
got
I
a
keep
chef
airing
on the
it out
show.
like I just passed gas.
This is season 2, episode 2. Okay?
Okay.
And
Let's
the
do
first
it.
one to answer. Name the artist for 500.
Okay.
Travis Tritt.
Who?
Travis Tritt.
Travis Trent? I ain't never heard of Travis
I've
Tritt.
never heard
You
of.
can't
Yeah,
answer.
me too.
Yeah, me too.
You can't answer. No, you can't answer. Oh, Chef can answer.
Yeah, that is Kevin Gates.
Kevin Gates.
Bro, where's Kevin Gates?
I don't know
Kevin
Kevin
Gates.
Gates.
You don't know him?
Yeah.
No, I know who he is,
Hold on.
but
His voice
he
is-
just
About
fell
to
off
say,
the
I
map.
got
don't
two
listen to
votes.
He lying.
That's your
He
boy.
lying.
Who?
Who did, bro?
When we work out, I like Troy music. I like old school.
That's my music. That ain't Troy's
He looks
music.
old.
That ain't show music.
That
man.
is my
That's
guy.
Troy music, man.
I put it on oldies.
Nah, no, you don't.
And it's only for the first 15 minutes.
I like old school.
You
though.
like old school?
And jazz and blues.
Okay,
Old
so
school
for
jazz.
people watching right now, I
You know what's
mean,
You
interesting?
can't even understand what nobody's
just
saying
talking
today
music.
anyway.
What's interesting is,
But can we understand what
2000.
any Florida person is saying?
who you think?
Huh?
We can't really understand what Florida people say in general.
I've been to Florida. This
Rap
we
has
gotta
changed.
know
The
more.
sound has
Gotta know
changed
of an
completely.
No,
You don't
pause
understand
it.
what the hell they saying.
Pause it. No, she's saying I don't understand what foreigners say in general.
Did she say foreigners or Florida?
Foreigners. She can't. Floridians. Floridians speak English, man, and there are a
That's
lot
what I'm
of them.
saying. Like, okay.
So she's saying
Okay.
you can't complain that I can't understand what rappers these days are saying because you cannot understand what foreigners are saying anyway. I don't know
Well,
what the
meaning
point
that
is.
foreigners are rapping.
Blues,
Okay,
old
let's
school
let's
jazz
hear
and
this.
blues.
You know what's
You
interesting?
can't even understand what nobody's saying today anyway.
What's interesting is,
But can we understand what any
2000.
Florida person is saying?
Shit, Florida, bro.
We can't really understand what Florida people say in general.
What do you mean?
Oh,
Rap
we
has
gotta
changed.
know-
The
we
sound
gotta
has
know
changed
of an
completely. You don't
audience.
understand what the hell they're saying. Every it's
Can't
mumble
understand what
rap.
she's
It's mumble
saying.
rap. I don't know what the they talking about.
so you don't listen to, okay, but that don't mean that you, so basically what you're saying is you don't listen to modern hip hop, but you still listen to old school, like, You know, some Scarface, some Jay-Z, some
Some
Nas.
Lil Wayne.
You know what the hell they talking about. You can
Is it
understand
when
what
that
they're
old
saying.
school?
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
Bro,
how
we-
old are
Rocking
you?
out today.
We old out here.
Popping pills and drinking and I don't do that no more. I'm old.
Yeah. Hold on. What he said, age. That's what it is. It's age. I'm telling you.
I mean, it's cool, but that's what's in that. And the sound will change in another 7 years. It'll be a different sound. And I think history repeats
he's got that
itself, so the
straight, yeah.
sound will go back to actually understanding what the artist is saying, being their
Lyrics.
substance of what they're
Lyrics.
Exactly.
lyrical.
Yeah.
I mean, they're lyrical, you still can't understand the shit.
What does WAP stand for?
What does WAP stand for?
Oh God. Okay.
That's what you making songs about the lyrics and stuff.
What's wrong with that?
Come on.
Guys, just to kind of keep you up to this. So I mean, you can kind of see the build up. We played the first part of this so that you can really get the background to like what the interaction was. Channing was pretty quiet up to this moment, and Essay was not really into it. It was just the two, Chaz and Brandon Marshall, sorry, were the ones talking a lot more about it, and it was just nice music talk. We're talking about the trends in music and rap, right? And ultimately, it comes to the new rap that we know, women being vulgar and stuff. And so he asks, and she is ready to shoot. I mean, shots are already kind of gonna be fired.
Nothing?
If you're blessed with it, why can't you talk about it?
Yes,
Why can't women own their sexuality? Why do y'all have such a problem? You want to own their sexuality, but you don't want women to own their sexuality. And
Okay, wait up. Let's discuss these things as they come. Owning your sexuality. What does that mean? What do you understand by that?
Well, first of all, right, he didn't say that women shouldn't own their sexuality, whatever that means, right? And she's already accusing him of not wanting women to own their sexuality, again, whatever that means. He just expressed his dislike of the term WAP being used in a song.
Exactly. And the guy's
and
married probably for more than 10 years. He has a wife.
Yeah. Also, just for those who don't know what WAP, the WAP song is, or what WAP means, it's a
I'll
song
give you
by,
the honors.
it's a song by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion where they talk about how ready they are to engage in sexual activity, signaled by the degree of moisture in their female parts. That's all I'm going to say.
You did good
Anyway,
justice to this.
it's okay. Here you see from her body language,
Yep.
to the pitch of her voice that she was triggered, right? And she has a need to want to defend anything done by any woman in the name of we should defend women or something like let's stick together. So whether or not another woman, in this case Cardi B, I guess, and Megan Thee Stallion, is singing about something people may find too much outside of what is considered sexually moral behavior, to her is just about defending.
There's no line. There's no line they will not cross. She's a feminist, the modern day feminist in I guess the definition of how it is usually now, which is defend women at all costs. And you can see, I mean, look at the guy now. So what the dynamics you're seeing, he's laughing. He looks like he's just kind of like, I can't believe she's really saying that, right? And she's saying this. Let's figure out where she goes from here. Gentlemen, don't deal with feminists in whatever capacity. It never comes out or ends up well.
that is the problem. Well, how about this? NFL is modern day slavery. Make yourself better than a stripper.
NFL modern day slavery?
Now you see,
oh my goodness me.
she has engaged him now. She has his attention because he was kind of laughing things off. And she figured he didn't really care much about what she was saying. Now she knows he's an NFL player. Now she's taking a dig at him personally. He did not say, WAP, that's what you listen to or anything. He did not make it personal. She's making it personal now.
So, wait. So she says that NFL is modern day slavery. Make yourself better than a stripper. Why is she bringing strippers into this?
I don't know where strippers came from.
The arrogance of calling someone's job slavery. And mind you, this is not just a regular job. It's a highly competitive job
And revered.
highly lucrative and respected. These men get paid millions of dollars.
The guy's
An
worth
amount
5
of money.
million at least. I
Yeah.
mean, I think at the max.
Yeah. It's an amount of money that some people spend 50 years working and they will never make.
A whole
And she
lifetime.
calls them slaves. Come on, be serious.
And now,
One more thing.
Mhm.
If you listen to the language she uses, right?
Mhm.
Why is she calling them modern day slavery? Why is she calling it modern day slavery? Right now, there is slavery happening in some parts of Asia and Africa. Right now, and in the Middle East. That's the traditional slavery. It's happening today. That's modern day slavery.
slavery doesn't
on-
need qualification.
And on
It
top
is
of that,
slavery.
she works for the NFL and she says NFL is modern day slavery. So is she including herself in the
No,
slaves?
It only just refers to people. She will clarify that it refers to people that use their body to make money, whatever that should mean. But I will always come back to this: the dynamics of the conversation. You are talking to a woman and you're trying to discuss a subject, but she makes it about you. The attacks are personal. She comes from 0 to 100. No need to actually escalate or to trigger her. She is easily triggered. These are the types of women you never go close to, gentlemen. I'm just saying. I don't care how good you think you can argue or de-escalate a situation. There's no de-escalating this. And look at my man now. He's out of his frame. He's exactly where she wants him to be, emotional.
Modern day slavery.
Stephen
What was the
Ross-
slave? What was the slave
Exactly.
salary cap? What was
Oh,
the slave
wait
salary
a
cap?
second. Look at how she's pointing at him. Like, yo, if you want to go, we can
Comparted.
go right now.
Who talks like that? And Vincent, listen, this is a woman who has no business being in this room except the fact that she works in the same industry, but she doesn't make anything close to these men on a
Yeah.
purely salary basis. She needs to at least put some respect on these guys' names, like my boy Bedman would say. If she cannot respect these 4 black millionaires sitting in that room, they are part of the 0.000 something percent. Tell me, what do you have to do as a normal guy to get this girl not to point her finger the way she is right now? Like,
She will
seriously.
slap you, like slap and punch you. So for those who are listening, she mentioned Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross is the owner of the Miami Dolphins. He's a billionaire. He's a rich white dude. She is saying that he owned you because he owned a team that he was playing for. So basically, he was his boss. So just because he has a contract playing for the Miami Dolphins, that automatically means he is owned and thereby a slave. Remember, she works for the NFL. She signed some sort of contract to work
She's a
for the
contractor,
NFL. So by her logic, it means she is also a slave.
So who's not a slave?
You know, the effort it takes to say something this idiotic is just amazing.
Look at, okay, let's keep going. I'm going to make a point.
What was the slave salary cap? What was the slave
Stephen
salary
Ross
cap?
owns
He
your
owned
ass.
me, and he
Stephen Ross
and he
owns-
paid me millions.
And how does
paid
it
me
feel?
millions.
And how does it feel?
Paid me millions.
And slaves got
And
paid
became
too.
famous.
And slaves got paid too.
Slaves got paid.
Slaves got paid
What
too.
did he pay with?
With housing.
Ass
with
whoopings
housing.
and a
with
shit.
housing.
Ass saved. What are you?
Now you see
Yes,
where my
say,
man
what
is.
are you talking
Exactly. So my man, he's just figured out they're not talking about the same thing here, and the person he's talking to. See, this is where it's a very, very sad place to find yourself as a man when you figure out the person I'm talking to, even a woman, because there are people like this everywhere.
Yeah.
You are trying to stay to task. The issue was about WAP. I don't know why we're at slaves getting paid in housing right now, but let's just follow that rabbit hole. We go down there, and it's like she's trying to be right in what she was saying. The first statement was, you are a slave because you are almost the same as whatever, and you have a contract, and every other reason she had. And now she's asked to qualify that statement. Instead of saying, I think I went a little far. Okay, let me come back. Maybe I didn't mean it like that. She has to dig in and double down and find reasons.
They need
She's
to be
scraping
right.
the bottle of the barrel right now just to be right. ladies and gentlemen, if you've never heard about this, it's called sign language. Shames, insults, guilt, the need to be right. You talk to someone, they have no actual point, or they are basically just trying to find anything to be right. In this instant, she's just looking for any other reason just to be right.
Yeah, I want to add on to that. She says slaves got paid.
Yeah.
Okay, I will ignore that. No. Actually, no, I won't. Let me talk about this. For all intents and purposes, slaves were treated as property. If you own property, you take care of your property just enough for it to remain useful to you. For example, if you have a lawnmower, right? After using it, you clean it, you store it somewhere dry. That doesn't mean you are paying your lawnmower. You are servicing it just in the same way you service your car. You remove the oil, you change the oil, and things like that, right? So that it can still help you accomplish tasks. The reason why slave masters housed and clothed, gave food, and sometimes even gave medical attention to their slaves was not as payment, but as upkeep, so that slaves would help them do whatever they wanted to do for free. So
And
no,
also,
slaves were not paid.
the payment that he gets was negotiated for.
Yeah.
Slaves did not go on any table and negotiated whatever mega treatment they were getting. These are the same people that claim to be about black people and to understand the legacy of slavery. And and you ask them, she is a woman. Does she have a PhD?
I hope not, but most of this, I wouldn't surprise if she had. It would make very little difference because most PhDs
Well, I'm
complete
trying.
morons.
Well, I'm trying to make a point to say this is supposed to be the cream in our culture. She's a lady with an actual degree, high paying. This woman appears on Forbes Women. If you go on Twitter, you see her, they ask her, they
She's
interview her,
accomplished.
and she's supposed to be the role model for other black girls. Most of the times, these are the people that are very vocal about the plight of the black people and the legacies of slavery and this and that. When people like me and you, Vincent, ask them, what exactly was slavery? Do you have an actual grasp on what it was? Because especially when you compare slavery from how we understand it to NFL players, we start doubting whether you actually understand what slavery is later on, especially for you to start pointing things 100 or 200 years later and saying, yes, I see this is an effect of what happened back there, when you can't even define properly what a slave is. That is pretty ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
You didn't own your career.
Look at him, he's just cracking up.
Football player does.
Oh, wait. Wait, pause it. Dude, he said you don't own your career. I don't think any football player does. First of all, right? What does that even mean? Owning your career. What does that mean? Okay.
Who owns their career?
Playing God's advocate, like I always do. She probably means maybe you can get traded or fired, but anyone who has employment somewhere is subject to getting fired as long as they have a boss. So in some cases, founders of companies have been fired from their own companies that they started. Steve Jobs being a famous example. So is she saying that you are a slave because you're a slave because you cannot do whatever you want when you want? If she is saying that, then she is essentially saying everyone is a slave because no one can do whatever they want whenever they want. Nobody.
It's a false sense of freedom. Like it's a misunderstanding of freedom that you should be able to do anything and everything you want at any time.
Exactly.
Or if there are any restrictions, it means you are not free. Freedom is not absolute.
And you know what's funny? She is a lawyer. She practices law under certain rules set by the American Bar Association. She knows it. She knows that if she breaks one of those rules, her law license will be revoked and she will not be able to work. So by her definition, it means she is a slave too to the American Bar Association.
Let's take a trip down memory lane. where a certain individual that was supposed to be the leader of the free world got impeached twice, apparently. Are
Donald
you
Trump?
telling? Why you gotta put his name out there? We don't like talking about that guy. We don't like him here. Audience, just know we don't like that guy here too. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, if the most powerful man in recent history, or whatever it is, the president of the country has restrictions on what he can do and cannot do, and can say and cannot say, which is what most people have been going off about. He can say that. Does that mean then that he's not free? Does that mean that he's in some way some sort of slave to who? Like,
Yeah.
you can't. You have to understand definitions for words. Slavery is not that. Those conditions he's setting is not what determines something to be a slave or not.
And I didn't follow
Yeah.
any rules.
What that mean though?
I didn't follow the rules.
Did you own it?
Yes.
You paid fines.
They're just speaking on exactly what we were just talking about.
Were
in
they-
fines in your
Great
career?
question. Were they able to control me? Did
I
I follow
took your
any
money.
rules? Were they able to
No, you
control
didn't
me?
follow any rules.
Thank you. Period. Case closed.
Come on,
And that's
Chad.
why your
That's
legacy
That's
is
some
different
flawed
than
reasoning
yours,
out
right?
there.
Play your game.
Very flawed. It's ego.
So
His ego
every,
is speaking.
every worker,
They
every
take-
worker at a store is
take what-
owned by the owner because they get a salary to work at that store.
Mm-hmm.
The people that work at this restaurant, they're owned by the owner of the restaurant because they get a
Just check
You
her body
you this
language.
face?
Yep.
This is a face of he got me. I gotta launch a counter attack here.
She's back from her high now.
salary to be in the store.
There's-
NFL teams, you have a salary.
There's
to
much
play
more
football.
regulations on an NFL player than it is on someone that works
I
in a
know that
restaurant.
you keep changing the topic. Every time you get a check from somebody as a superior, you're owned by them.
Your
That's
check,
what you're
your
saying.
check comes with a lot more limitations. I used to do the contracts. I know.
Okay, is that what you're saying?
Okay.
That's
Wait,
what I'm
She
wait,
saying.
didn't
You're-
answer. She didn't answer his question.
wait. I'll let. I know you have a lot to say about what she said.
No, I'm not. I'm good now.
she said that you have a lot more limitations, right?
Yep.
I used to do the contracts. Well, okay, she used to do the contract, so she knows the details that can go into a regular NFL contract, right? But you see, what she is trying to do here by saying I used to do the contract is to say I'm an expert. She's calling, it's an appeal to her expertise. So she's just trying to let you know that you better respect what she is going to say afterwards.
Which is a deflection tactic.
Yeah, yeah,
It doesn't matter
So-
you're an expert. Form an argument.
yeah. Anyway, here saying that you have certain restrictions of what you can say or what you can do on social media when you travel, what you can eat, etc., which are things stipulated in the contract, means that you are a slave and have no control of your career. It's just crazy because everyone has restrictions, like you were saying, in their employment contracts. Even those people who work for McDonald's, they have times they should show up to work. They have a dress code. They have a language code.
No,
how-
listen.
interacting
Don't-
with customers.
Don't even compare people that are at McDonald's and this and that. Every professional athlete anywhere in the world has those restrictions.
Yeah.
So are you trying to tell me that every athlete is a slave?
That's essentially what she's saying with their flawed reasoning. It's a moreover, right? The restrictions that football players and athletes in general are subject to,
Yeah.
those restrictions are rewarded. It's reflected in how much money they
salary.
get paid.
Exactly. We pay you this much, so much is at stake. So yeah, why don't you just shut up a little bit about this that you don't like? That's
It's a
The
it.
different-
Publix workers and the Walgreens workers are owned.
No, because
They
guess
get a
what?
check. They get a check to do a job.
Because if you work at Walgreens, you can post whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. That's different. You didn't have that right, and you don't have the right to judge.
Okay, let's say this. Do you want to post anywhere you like, or do you want to make millions as an NFL player? Let's
It's a trade-off that
yeah.
individuals make that choice. He was there, say, okay, I would rather not post anything on Twitter myself and make bank. You are posting on Twitter every day for free.
I would rather be a millionaire and not post a single thing.
Yeah.
I don't
But-
care about posting stuff
That's
like that.
that's why in the beginning I was saying the arrogance of calling someone's job slavery. She wasn't there when he negotiated. She's basically calling the all NFL players dumb to say
She's
how would
smarter
you
than they are.
agree to that.
But the thing is, there's no evidence right now in this video to show us that she's smart, which is ironic.
Someone else for how they make money off of their body. You make money off of your body.
And
Oh.
professional athletes and strippers, same thing.
Why are you looking down on them?
I'm asking you a question. You can't.
Who brought strippers into this conversation?
She's the one who is looking down on them. She called them slaves.
As a comparison to whatever she's saying, make yourself better than a stripper. Meaning strippers are better or not?
Yeah.
What is
Okay. Wait. Anyway, she's saying you make money off of your body, right? First of all, I mean, who doesn't? Like who who can make
the Walgreens
money
workers
and
are working
exclude
from
their
home,
bodies?
and their bodies
the
are not
process.
at the job.
Yeah, she shows up to court. She shows up to the office, draft contracts, do whatever she does. It involves your physical body in doing all those things. Even someone who is the CEO of a big bank, they use their mind, their body
All
to think
construction
about things
workers are
and to
slaves
move.
too. All construction workers are slaves.
Bruh, I can't even believe
All
we are.
blue collar workers are slaves.
How can
According
you?
to her.
How are they letting these people get law degrees? Honestly,
No, but seriously, think about it. She's calling probably 90% of women that do or any physical work, because I kind of understand what she's trying to say. You're doing some physical labor, it means you're a slave. What kind of contempt should you have for people?
Yeah.
This is what really irks me. All jokes aside, there's a low level contempt of a man in just the way she looks at a man.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if it was a man saying the same things about a woman.
Or about
saying
strippers, only strippers, to say strippers are slaves.
Are slaves. Really, like what would happen to a guy saying something like that? And this is a woman, she's not white, she's not talking to a white guy. And this is where I kind of I don't think you should talk to anyone anyway, or should show hate to anyone because of the color of their skin. But most of these people are pro-black. She's talking to a successful black man sitting in front of her who's married to a black woman. I can understand you saying, I'm kind of, I don't like you because you're married to a white woman. He's married to a black woman for 10 years. This is the symbol of what we are looking for in our community. Success. And he's sitting there. He's not a guy that people probably know for bad behavior. You are talking to him. Show some respect. Why do you have to bring down his profession, to bring down all his friends? I'm pretty sure he has a bunch of friends that are in the NFL, and call him a slave. Why?
You see, and also the NFL is dominated by black men on top of that. I feel sorry for the dumb bastard that is going to marry that woman, or who is already married to that woman.
Or anyone who has a woman that thinks and acts and moves this way. Like I said, feminists that move like this. I don't care if you think that we are being misogynist here or anything. The only hate that I'm hearing is coming from the woman sitting on this panel.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what? I'm trying to get back to this WAP issue.
Okay.
First of all, feeling sexually excited is not an accomplishment.
It's not.
Right? It happens to everyone. Sometimes it happens when you don't even want it to happen. But she says
protocol.
She says it as if it's something to celebrate. But you see this with a lot of these kinds of people, that they celebrate to the maximum for minimum non-accomplishments.
Yes. It doesn't take effort.
Yeah, that is, they end up celebrating things that are common or things that are expected of them, and being proud of things that are more symbolic than actual accomplishments.
Yeah.
So you might be saying right now, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with celebrating? Which is a good question, which I'm going to answer. So here's what is wrong with thinking like that. When you celebrate non-accomplishment, you get an endorphin satisfaction, right? As if you've actually accomplished or done something, but you haven't done anything, which lowers your motivation to actually do something and removing pressure on your part to actually do something. And the reason why you have to do something, that is because that is how human capital, skills, and character is built. When you actually overcome real challenges, you figure out a strategy to achieve a specific goal. And those things are much more valuable in our society as a whole. One example of this kind of women who celebrate non-accomplishments is when some women say, I'm independent, I take care of myself. You know, like, you're 25, you should be taking care of yourself.
You're an adult.
But yeah,
That's basic.
it extends to a lot of things, like when people kneel down in protest of police brutality, when they destroy historic statues of figures that have a questionable past. All those things are easy to do, yet they celebrate them as if they've made actual changes or actual progress or accomplished something.
I think it's a testament to the times we live that the easy things get celebrated, mostly because people don't have any interest in doing anything hard. What you have pointed out there is something that we see, especially most of these modern women do. So I think this video is probably gone on long enough. I can tell you again, I am going to just say I think she really does not understand how she comes off, and I hope she does, or she gets it at some point.
The sad part is that's the example of a strong black woman
Yes.
that black Americans have.
Yes,
So,
and so you guys help us out here. What is your opinion? Is the NFL just like slavery? Are we just missing it? Or maybe she is missing it. Would really like to hear it in the comment section. Just comment, like, hit the notification. What did you want to say before we go?
Yeah, for the fellas out here, comment, would you want to date this girl? Would you bring her to your mom and say this is it?
Good luck discussing tough situations about relationships and everything that comes with that, with this type of woman. The two decent blocks, we've been reacting to I Am Athlete, and we out. Thank you.